So we are shooting Anoraks episode 4 at a brand new set or a temporary set because ours is under construction. So that's going to be fun to deal with later. So I'm Don Martino, your host, of course, and this is the show where we talk about movies to comic books to how many times a day Jareth checks his mailbox. So, and of course I also have Blake Love.
Let's hope not.
Gabriel, all right, Blake Ross and Jareth Love with me. And
the second time, did you mix our names, Blake Loss?
No, I said Blake Love.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, no, you said Blake Love, and then I heard Blake Loss.
Did I?
I think. Did you hear that?
You guys know my panelists. So anyway, so Jareth's kind of frustrated today. I think, aren't you?
Aren't you? When is he not?
Yeah, he's not frustrated. Yeah. So.
Always at those darn kids.
Yeah. What are you? The kids. It's the kids. It's us. It's you and I. It's the kids.
Makes sense.
It's everyone.
Yeah.
Because we're like 20 years younger than Jareth.
Yeah, I think so.
Something
like more like 80. Maybe. Yeah. That sounds about right. Yeah. So what are you frustrated about, Jareth? Because I remember you called me earlier.
Yes.
He called you actively.
He called me.
Yes, I was pissed off about the comic book industry.
Okay, go on.
Not about the kids this time.
Do tell. What is it?
Okay, first of all, you've got Marvel, where they reset everything like every few years. They're saying, "Oh, it's gonna be fantastic. Everyone's gonna read it again." No. They're not reading it. Hardly anyone reads comic books nowadays. It's not like it was in the 90s where they were selling like millions of copies. You open a can of worms with me tonight. By the way, because it's gonna. Okay, people do not read like they used to in the 90s.
This is the whole podcast.
People do not read like they used to in the 90s.
Okay.
Like casual fans are cool. By the way, no offense, but you're kind of a casual fan of comic books. And once, okay, I'll give you an example. I walked up to a guy dressed as Miles Morales Spider-Man at a convention once. And I asked him about the character, and he didn't know anything about the character. This kind of pisses me off. You can just read. Like, yeah.
Read a book.
No, read a Wikipedia article. Read a Wikipedia article. It does not. It takes like 15 minutes, if that. If that.
Read a Wikipedia article.
Well, I mean, I get it.
He's so sassy about it. That's kind of what I think is so funny.
I get it if you're in a group of friends and you're just like in it to be in it with cosplaying. But if you're by yourself, I expect someone to walk up to you and talk to you about your character. It's standard.
Yeah.
But that, like, because I used to go to superhero parties where we cosplayers would just dress up and every year around Halloween and make their own stuff, and they would know about their characters. That pisses me off about cosplayers when they don't know about the characters. But, okay, getting back to the comic book industry, what pisses me off about DC is they expect you to know when you're, like, if you pick up a comic book nowadays, people expect you to do your homework. Mm-hmm. People don't like doing homework. Like, you research the character, know what the character does, the side characters, this. What I like about Marvel is they have...
I gotta tell you why this is so funny. So Jareth calls me, and I'm on the way to God knows where. I forgot where I was at earlier, but
the strip club.
No, I was in Kokomo visiting people,
now
and then I was on my way home from there. But he calls me in the car, and he says, "I am working on a rant for the show today," and I swear to God, he said he was working on a ranch for the show today, and I said, "You're working on a ranch," and he goes, "Yeah."
I
was like,
ranch.
I thought he was like working on some guy's ranch so we could use it for the show or something. Like, I'm
ranch?
Milk to them cows real good today.
And then he started talking about comics, and it hit me in my head. I was like, "Oh, rant." That's what he said. Okay, but that was just so funny to me. Sorry, I didn't understand why you're working on a ranch.
Yeehaw! Come and get your comic books and ranch.
And then that picture in my head of Jareth working on a ranch just it topped it all off for me.
Me working on a ranch? No.
You working on a ranch is
never.
hilarious. It was the best image I've ever had in my head.
I just imagine Jareth jumping onto a ball.
I'm sorry. So your rant.
Sorry,
let's
your rant.
listen.
I'm on a rant,
Yes.
not a rant.
So let's resume the rant. Sorry.
Okay, back to Marvel has a little blurb about what's going on with the characters in every comic book, and like
Marvel has a blur.
like a little intro.
So you're just saying that there's just like a block between you think the companies themselves, the industry in general,
They
and
need
the
to
audience. members.
yes,
That's
okay.
all. Okay.
Why I didn't last time? No, like 2 podcasts ago. Why I didn't complain that much about Valiant is because they took what I like about Marvel and what I liked about DC and kind of combine it into both.
Right.
They have a small universe that you can pay for maybe like $30 to $40 a month and get everything, all the characters, and you don't have to know much about it. You can jump in every like 4 issues, and it's not that expensive. They're really, it's a small company.
Sponsor.
Hey, they might do that eventually.
Ask them.
But they're in the middle of some public. DMG just bought them out. Actually, the guys that did Looper.
Yeah. That's cool. Well,
Okay.
I mean, I'm saying like that's cool. I mean,
Okay. Back to the
but
yes. Marvel keeps resetting.
hold on. Sorry. Can you turn just a little bit toward the camera just a second? I just want to point out the shirt that he's wearing. So if the good people of Marvel are watching, he's still going to give you his money.
Okay.
So don't worry.
Props to Scotty Young if you can see this. He's the guy. Okay. Yeah, I've ranted about this before. People don't give a shit about writers anymore, or even like I follow writers, not characters, because anyone can write a character. It matters how you write that character. Yeah. If Deadpool's funny, like Deadpool's funnier than he's ever been in like 10 years to me.
Yeah.
And Scotty Young, the guy that does I Hate Fairland, I don't know if you've ever seen that around, but he's done this artwork for this shirt, and he's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
He brought what was the girl from the Sonic Teenage War.
Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
He brought her.
He brought her into
the comics.
Okay.
Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Yeah, it.
It sounded funny when you said it. I don't know why. I think it's funnier when you say it than when Ryan Reynolds says it.
Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
I don't know. It was funny when you said it.
Well, I said Megasonic Teenage Warhead.
Oh, that might have been why it sounded funny. It was wrong.
Yes. But it's funnier. Like the last issue wasn't that funny. He went into an alternate reality in the Bermuda Triangle. It was just but the first few issues, like 1 through 3 of Scotty Young's run, it felt like I was watching, I don't know, like a Looney Tunes episode. It was so crazy because he had the one weapon that could kill the aliens that were invading, and the Avengers were like, oh shit, we have to track down Deadpool. And he was like, oh wait, so the Avengers are hiring me? Come on, just say it, you're hiring me. Like, that was funny. And
yeah. Right. So what's the issue then? Is it just the way that they're coming across in the comics at this point?
Yeah, okay.
Is it just overall? I'm just trying to...
Why I'm pissed is because people, they were like, okay, I walk up to someone and, what? People that...
when you're so angry you can't form sentences.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, people that dress up as Deadpool and are assholes just to be assholes.
Okay.
People just like characters, but just say they like characters, and when you start talking about them, just kind of don't care anymore. That's my beef. Is like, if you that's why I'm kind of getting out of comic books, because it seems like people just kind of care about the movies and not the actual source material.
Yeah, I got you.
That's my beef with the comic book industry.
You think it's the industry's fault?
I think they're changing it now, but they had it to where non-mainstream characters were in, like Riri Williams, the I don't know, like characters that you couldn't recognize. It was making it harder for people to walk into a comic book shop and know who the hell were in the, like, they had a female Thor. That was a great storyline, but it wasn't it that Jane was Thor for a while. Jane Foster, the love interest. It was a great storyline, but it didn't have Thor, Odin's son.
Yeah. So you think it's within the writing? It's not so much the it's not a marketing problem. If I could tell you that there was a way to attach comic book marketing, which the movies should be doing that like on their own just for being movies and existing, but if like we're putting these films out and there's like a way, you know, like almost how the post-credit scenes in a way advertise the next movie or whatever in the, you know, so if there was a way to, you know, bring it into the films,
well, they
would
do.
you think that would help?
They do a little bit. Like they have things that take place in between the movies, like the the comic book adaptations of the movies, but they don't really fill a spot in between the Marvel universe. I think that's what they need to do, because they used to do that, where they would fill a void between what happens between this movie and that movie.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying too, like you go to the theater, right, and there's previews.
Yeah.
But Marvel attaches their own preview, but it's for a comic.
Well, that's what they did with Fox actually did with X-Men back in 2000.
Well, that's what I was going to say, because I remember seeing those back in the day.
Yeah.
Where they would do that, and it's not going on anymore.
No.
So that could be part of the problem, too, where there's this disconnect between the films.
Well,
because I remember seeing that back in the day. Like you said in X-Men movies.
Yeah.
You'd pop in your VHS, and I think the first thing that would come up is probably an advertisement. For
well, even on if you look back into the X-Men DVD specials, on the DVD of X-Men 2 with they talk about Nightcrawler's origin. Like they actually have an interview with the writer that wrote that comic book on one of the special features of the DVD. And like, I don't know, like maybe put comic books into the DVDs.
Yeah.
Or I know that they had motion comics on Netflix for a while. Like, where the hell are those again? Like, okay, and I also feel after Avengers 4, I don't think comic books movies are going to be as popular anymore.
Okay.
Because it's all been going towards Thanos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see your point too. Like my thing is, and my biggest worry in just the MCU filmverse, you know what I mean? It's just like where do
they go from there?
Where do you take it once this is all said and done? Which hopefully we get an answer to that in the next film, in Avengers 4. You know, hopefully there's an answer to that in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, they're talking about like taking like unknown characters and giving them their own movies, which is great, but it doesn't do any. I don't know if people are going to care about unknown characters.
I think Marvel can do it because of what they've been able to set up thus far, and I think that they can. I think they can continue for another 10 years, and that's just me. I
think they can, but I don't think people care enough about the source material, though. I can give you an example. Ant-Man.
Yeah.
People, when Ant-Man and the Wasp came out, no one bought the comic book.
Everybody went to see the movie, though.
Everyone saw the movie, but no one bought the comic book.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure some people might have. You know, there's those guys that are like, you know, they want to learn. There are hardcore Marvel fans.
Right.
You can't say everybody because there are.
No, but not a lot. Like the majority of people that, like, they're not gonna. Hey, you got an Ant-Man and Wasp comic book. The majority of people aren't gonna go into a comic book shop looking for that.
You know, it circles back to my point. Like, what if we found a way to do that again, to where we added the, you know, previews? Not we. I'm saying like
Right.
the general we. Where, you know, we found a way to add like a comic book, like almost a trailer for just a comic book. You know what I mean? Do you think it would help? Or do you think?
I think if they like pushed, hey, if you want to know more about this character, you have to read this comic book.
That would be nice.
Yeah, that's what I like, and that's kind of that's what I'm trying to say. But that's what I want too as a person, and that's something that's bothered me for a while. Because for me, somebody who's like, Ant-Man comes out, right? And I did go to see the movie. My thing is like, where do I start? You know, and at the time I saw Ant-Man 2, I didn't know you. I didn't have friends that were so well versed in comics.
See,
you know
it's
what I
the
mean?
problem. Like I'll say there's a comic book for everyone, but a lot of people just don't know where to jump in.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Like, I actually remember Googling because I wanted to get back into comics at one point. Where should I start? You know what I mean?
Well, that's the problem with Marvel. They don't have a good jumping on point. Neither does DC, and
But that's what the movies do well, and that's
Yeah.
why there's a disconnect. I think.
yeah, I feel like back when Avengers started, I noticed on YouTube, especially, people started reviewing comic books more, talking about comic books more. Avengers started getting people into comic books, but I still am noticing like, oh, I just watched the TV shows like Flash and like stuff like that. But,
Yeah.
and it's like people, like I said, people don't want to do homework. They want to know where to start.
Right.
Like this is why anime and manga are outselling comic books in general, because it's true, because
We have an audience member with us, by the way, today, guys.
because the art is more consistent
Yeah.
and the story is more consistent.
And also with a lot of anime, if you just jump into a second season, there's not a lot to deal with the last season, so you can jump in.
Right.
So that helps with anime, I guess.
Yeah.
But with like especially the mainstream stuff, you have different artists, different writers every maybe 6 to 12 months, and people just constantly drop off that book because they get tired of the changes.
Yeah. No, I understand. And I agree with you. Like I said, I'm agreeing with all these points because it's something that I wanted back. Because I do remember the, I guess we'll call them attachments to the movies, to where they would, actually try to get you into all the other merchandise, and comic books were damn sure one of those things,
Yeah.
And like, if they're not doing that, then they can't expect. I mean, I don't understand why they don't do it, because that's how you get money.
Well, I like that they're making, like, they're pushing, like, it seems Disney's pushing their cartoons more now.
Oh, Disney is, yeah.
But they're,
And once the streaming service
Yeah.
comes, forget it. I mean,
Yeah,
everybody's
yeah.
going to be on that anyway, so yeah, he knows.
yeah. But what I want with that streaming service is like, I want all the classic X-Men. I want the classic 90s stuff. Like, that was the best stuff.
We'll get it, but it's going to come at a price.
Yeah.
That's the thing that you got to
Yeah.
remember, is like, which is why I was having that conversation with you guys, which I don't want to get into it too much, but I was having that conversation about,
Right.
Are we going to drop Netflix for this Disney thing? Absolutely. If it has all the content I want, I'm dropping
yeah.
Netflix in a heartbeat to budget that in, But,
Plus, on a side note, I've heard the DC, anyone that's actually put time into watching the DC Titans show is good. It's good.
the newest one?
Yeah.
Okay, fair. I know that there was complaints at the beginning for sure, but I don't know, maybe it did improve. So that's
Right.
that's good. But we are going to move on for
Yeah.
time. But appreciate you sharing that rant. No, honestly, because I do agree, and it's like, what in the hell do we do about this? You guys watching should leave comments and see if you can find a solution, because in all honesty, I definitely see where he's coming from as a diehard comic book fan, and believe me, I've known Jared long enough to know that he has been reading comic books longer than most people watching this show. So, because he is 75 years old. Anyway, so
Wait, that young?
that young, yeah,
Wow.
yeah, he looks good.
He looked really good for his age.
Anyway, so we're gonna talk about some movies here. So I did not get a chance to go see Bohemian.
That's good.
And Jared did see it, and you say it's good.
Yeah.
Here's the thing with fans, because I know that, the critical claim is not good there, because it's down, and I think it's because of the Bryan Singer thing.
Bryan Singer.
Right, because they're the backlash against him.
Oh, what was the deal with Bryan Singer?
I don't know, because there's so many
I saw him-
of these Me Too things.
I
coming
saw him
out
on the
that
credits,
It's all
but-
becoming one big blur.
I saw him in the credits, but I didn't see what the
Well,
deal
he directed
was.
the movie, but he got fired, like 75% of the way through it.
Oh, I didn't know
Because
about
of
that.
the Me Too thing, and
Right.
I don't know his exact accusation anymore, but I'm sure he tweeted something, or I don't know, his sexual allegations, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
The point is, I think that's why critics are saying the movie sucks. is because of that, and that's not fair because I'm sure there's a lot of hard work going everywhere in this movie.
Like I don't care. I like the.
You did like the movie,
yeah.
right? Okay.
Especially. I mean, it's not really a spoiler. Like, if you do some research, and you knew that he performed at Live Aid. Yeah. And that was probably.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was the biggest like climax of the movie. Like, I'm not spoiling anything if you know anything about.
All right. Yeah. No.
Yeah, I can't think of anything that the general public wouldn't know about Freddie Mercury.
How is it though? Is the movie? Is it something? Do you actually feel that 2 hour and 15-minute runtime, or does it move?
It kind of. Well, I'm patient for that character because I like Queen. I like.
So if you're a
classic...
Queen fan, you're saying get out there and see this.
Yes,
because
yes. If you like classic rock, if you like rock at all, if you like anything, if you like rock opera, go see this movie.
I'm not even going to ask you this question because I could tell from the trailers. Rami Malek killed it as Freddie Mercury, though,
yes.
Right? I mean, obviously. And that's... See, I'm not saying that's all you need to make a movie good, but when you're doing a Queen movie, like, and you got this actor who's killing it in this role... here's an interesting question, though, because, Sacha Baron Cohen was originally supposed to play Freddie Mercury. How would that...
Oh, that would have been awful.
Really? Okay. I think he's got the look down.
He's got the look, but I think he would have been an asshole.
Yeah. Because I know this is going to... This movie, the thing I did here, it definitely focuses on a lighter side of the Freddie Mercury story. More than anything, it doesn't really.
It's
focus
not
on the dark stuff.
It's not that dark. I mean, it mentions like the HIV and his sexcapades a little bit, but it's not. It's not that hardcore. It's not like. Right. It's not like. It's not like it shows some drugs and stuff, but it's mostly just about him, like him meeting Queen, him, them going on tour, and then him, like getting a record deal on his own and breaking up with Queen for a little bit.
Well, I'm glad to hear this though, because like when I started hearing the initial reviews, I was going, "Oh my god, they fucked it up." You know what I mean? Because I was thinking,
oh no, like I'd watch it again.
Yeah, okay. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm so happy to hear that it's as good as it is. You know what I mean? For somebody who likes Queen, which I'm assuming you do, you wouldn't have gone and see the movie had you not, or maybe you would have just to see, some music. I don't know, but because who doesn't know Queen's music? I mean, in all honesty, but I don't know. You gonna catch a Bohemian? Actually,
maybe.
Yeah. I want to go at some point, so I'll let you know if I'm going. And maybe we can go. I did catch. Went down to the Art House Theater in Indy, and I got to see "Can You Ever Forgive Me?" This is a movie that I was really anticipating for two reasons. The story just definitely looked interesting when I saw the trailer for it, and then number two, Melissa McCarthy is an actress I've been rooting for ever. Since I saw her in Bridesmaids, because she's fantastic in Bridesmaids. Mm-hmm. And then ever since then. It's the same character over and over. I like her Identity Thief, and then like Tammy was shit. And there's just so many other misses. You know what I mean? Like not everything was complete shit that she did, but
just
it was,
the same character over and over
like
again.
Very repetitive.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, she knocked it out of the park in this movie, and this is something very different for her. She's definitely funny, and this movie's very comedic in a lot of moments, and she's great in that.
What's it about in general?
Oh, yeah. So she plays... This is actually a really good true story. Mm-hmm. And she plays Lee Israel, who's a real writer. And at the point that we see her in the movie, she's had a hit. It was like on the New York Sellers... What's that list called?
New York Times bestseller.
New York Times bestseller. Thank you. And she had a hit on there. And, at this point, she just can't write a book that's hitting. It's she's pretty much washed up at this point. One of my problems with the movie is because her character is actually really, really bitchy, and they don't really give a lot of reason to that. The only thing they mention subtly is that she hasn't had a hit in years, but I don't know if it's enough. And you see some of the things that she does in this movie. I don't know if it's enough to drive a person that insane, so I would like to look into that more. Because I definitely want to see what drove her that way. Was it the money? Did she go nuts in her time of, fame?
So maybe she just fed up with people in general.
It's maybe. I just felt like it should have been explained because of the way the movie goes. Okay. It's just like in that moment, it felt like something was.
You wanted more of an explanation towards the character's motives,
and I think that was one one of my biggest issues. Another thing is there's this very funny man that she meets. He's a gay man.
Yeah.
And he's a real comic relief to the movie, and he's awesome. But there's a point in the movie, there's like a chunk in the movie where he's just gone, and he came back up again and plays a significant role, which is great. But in that chunk, I was like, I kind of forgot he was there. You know, like they should have like put him in a couple moments. So those are my only two issues, which are very, very minor. But what she did was, because she was running out of money. She's got these bills, obviously.
Yeah.
And she needs money, so she's making up documents of other authors. And she's just typing them out and selling them to like bookstores, and she's making like $400 a pop off these things.
Oh,
yeah, and she's making them look legit because she is a writer. She
right.
can make these letters from other writers sound legit, and it's pretty much once she starts doing that, that movie's just kind of a ride from that point forward, and it's just like, oh my god, like she's making money doing this, and it's pretty cool.
When was the movie based on? Like, is it
Time period wise?
Yeah.
You know, that's another thing. I think they said it maybe in the beginning, but I don't remember. But it wasn't that long ago, I don't think.
Well,
Okay.
would you say like 80s or 70s?
I think more closer to our time
Okay.
than that.
Really? Like,
Yeah.
because you said 400?
Yeah, it seemed
Everything.
it seemed closer to our time, but the movie doesn't like do anything to date itself either. You know what I mean? Like it could really be.
No selfies. No.
Not that I remember. I gotta see it again.
no Facebook.
Yeah, not that I remember. No.
No death threats online.
Not that I remember. I mean,
Maybe one. But
no, but it definitely takes place in like New York City. And it's like obviously bookstores were popping around that whatever time it was. So
so like 100 years ago.
no, it still could have been past the new millennium though. You know.
I'd say 90s.
Yeah, something I admired about this movie and the director, and I can't remember her name. It's a woman. I feel so bad because she deserves all the credit in the world. Some of the shots in the movie, just like the director just did decide to just pretty much use the city as like to almost help tell the story, and and just those shots were gorgeous in the movie, and that was something that I really loved. But this director I know is doing the new Mr. Rogers movie with Tom Hanks, so I was really excited about that. And that, this just gives me confidence in that movie.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was really, really good. Melissa McCarthy really kills it, and I think she should be nominated for an Oscar. I mean,
Oh, it's that good.
It's that good of a performance. She is fantastic in this movie. Blew me away. And then, like, right at the end, she does something in her performance, and I'm not going to give it away. But
Yeah.
she does something within the performance that just, it really moves you, you know, in a really great way. And but yeah, that's how I enjoyed the movie. And we also have some movie news that I just threw in at last minute. I don't know. I wanted to throw these two topics at you guys to see how you guys felt about them. So Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, they got together. Bad Boys 3 is happening.
Oh, I heard about
real
that.
soon. So, you know,
I think
What do you think?
the hype train has passed and left the building.
you know, they should have really just confirmed this forever ago. It's kind of tough, but I will go see this movie.
Is Michael Bay involved?
No. And that could be a plus.
It could be a
Yeah.
To my
plus.
knowledge, he is not involved.
But you don't really have Bad Boys without Michael Bay though.
Yeah, but the way he's making films
Normal
now,
boys. Sad boys.
I think this one's gonna be called Bad Boys for Life. That was the original working title. I don't know if it's still
To be
gonna
honest, I never really cared for the franchise.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fine if you don't care for it. I mean, I know a lot of people do. I like the movies. I'm not like I don't love them. I thought the first one was pretty damn good for
Yeah.
what it was. The second movie was like it seemed like a little bit more the same, and Michael Bay was blowing up more shit. So, Blake, Bad Boys, any excitement?
I'm with Jareth. I think
just
the
not
hype
big on it.
train's gone.
I do like the movies. I just don't love them. I'll go
Yeah.
see it. I'll go see it and I'll watch it. And I'll see
I
how it
might
is.
rent it or see it. No, I'll see it on Netflix.
Yeah.
If it's on Netflix, I'll see it.
Yeah. If not,
No, or maybe Redbox. Maybe.
if Dom invites me and he pays, I'll go. But
Yeah.
I'm not
You
spending
pay
my
for
money.
yourself.
No,
Actually, I owe you money, so I might as well pay. Yeah. Anyway. So, it's true.
Have you seen the new Aquaman trailer?
Did.
I think it looks too CGI to be honest.
I think this last one did, yeah. I was a little bit disappointed. I'm going to go see this. James Wan has my trust.
It looks Black Mana looks like a Power Rangers.
Yeah,
Bad guy.
James Wan. We're gonna be going for another hour on this if we don't move on. But James Wan's a great director, and I'm gonna go see this movie.
Okay.
But
Red Dead Redemption, right?
well, I wanted to talk about one more piece of news that I
Okay.
got, and that is that Ridley Scott has confirmed Gladiator 2.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Okay, what do you think? Gladiator's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Ridley Scott's back on board. Ridley Scott's awesome.
Again, why are they making these sequels like 10 or 20 years later?
Here's the thing. I would say that if Ridley Scott wasn't the one that was wanting to do it. Because if Ridley Scott says that he wants to do a sequel to Gladiator, he has a story to tell. There's something that he wants to say, about
Woo,
it.
historical inaccuracies.
All right, Jared's not excited for that.
No, I'll see it.
You'll see this one, okay.
I'll see it, but like I'm going to see what other people say about it first.
Okay, fair enough.
I'd say this is one that I am going to go and see.
Gladiator 2. Gladiator's great. So.
Yeah, like it was a good movie, and I have to stick with Jareth too. Why like so late after? But it is one that I will go and see.
Yeah. I think, like I said, I think if Ridley Scott wants to do it, there's got to be a story, but that's just me, you know what I mean? He's got to have a reasoning for it, other than to pick up your money. I mean, because it's Ridley Scott. The guy's a passion director. He
was bored.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean,
Just
he's got a
lying at
lot
home
of
in
other
his-
things he can do. I mean, he's still directing the Alien
I
movies.
mean, what would they pick up from? He died in the end.
He
Gladiator.
did. That's the thing. Well, I guess it was supposed to follow his son.
Okay.
And his journey into. So maybe I should explain that.
Yeah,
first to get
okay.
You know what it
numbers.
is? It's Lion King.
The very, very long Lion King movie. When you put both parts together,
Yeah.
you're getting a 6-hour Lion King.
Everything the light touches is yours.
So we'll move on,
Except
though.
for that dark place.
Yes.
And before we get into Red Dead Redemption,
Except for that pit.
before we get into Red Dead Redemption 2, because I feel like that's going to be the one that just takes us out of the show, because that's going to be the one where we'll probably both be talking for quite a while. But I do want to talk about this. General Grievous was added last week to Battlefront 2. So I was pretty happy. I was pissed off, though, because you got to unlock them. You need like 35,000 credits. So I'm like, of course. Now, here's the thing. Obi-Wan, Anakin, Count Dooku are all coming up as characters in Battlefront 2.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have to unlock them all? That's going to be my question. I mean, obviously, you can't answer that, but I'm going to be really pissed off if that's how they continue with this.
Yeah.
Now, I saw some of this shit. I haven't been able to play as them yet because I still need to get more credits because I spent all mine on other prosthetics for the other characters.
Are you doing microtransactions on this game?
No, I'm not.
Okay, good.
No, it's like credits you earn through the playing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like actual. But so you have to unlock Grievous that way. But the stuff that, like, I saw some of the gameplay footage for Grievous. My God, it's fucking fantastic. Those, like, lightsaber spin moves he does in 3.
Nice.
You could do all that. He crawls around on the ground like a spider. I don't know why, but it's awesome.
It is awesome.
It's
a
just
sneak
to
attack.
evade his enemies, which I was like, I love that.
Confuse them to death.
If you watch the trailer for the Grievous add-on, though, it's
Yeah.
hilarious because the guy talking is like foreign. I can't remember his name, but he basically runs all the stuff in EA and DICE for this game. And he's like, he's talking about the footage. He's just like, and General Grievous can run on the ground. That's very cool. It was one of the best things I've ever seen.
very cool.
I don't even think he's like Indian. That's the weird thing. He's just some weird, I don't know, Russian.
Just some white kid like, that's a very cool.
He pretty much was. It was kind of awesome. This guy, he's trying to sell this fucking thing, and he's just. It was pretty good. So I do want to talk about Red Dead Redemption 2. Did you? What do you?
All right, so I didn't get that far in.
Okay.
But from what I did.
Me either, though.
Okay, so I can tell you this.
I'm on chapter 2, so don't spoil anything for me.
Oh no, I'm not even that far.
Okay.
But I want to talk about the design more than anything. So, and this isn't really small. In the very beginning, there's snow.
Uh-huh.
Did you see how amazing the design
Detailed?
was? Yes.
I will. That was the first thing I wanted to say about this game. Design. This is Rockstar's best
Beautiful.
work. This is fantastic.
The horse like kicked the snow up, and you could. It's almost like you could tell each snowflake.
Yeah.
Like it was so good for a video game.
Yeah, I liked the story elements right in the beginning there too, because they kind of remind me.
It throws
of,
you right in.
Remind me of the mixture of the Hateful Eight and True Grit a little bit, which was really really cool. Like, it feels like a Western, man. And like one of the things I'll say, some people said the beginning of this game was boring. No, the beginning of Red Dead Redemption was boring.
Yeah.
The beginning of Red Dead Redemption 2 puts you right in the action.
It throws you right in.
I was having so much fun with this game right from the get-go, and I will continue to play this all through tomorrow because this game is fucking awesome. I love it. It's probably Rockstar's
Best work.
honestly. Grand Theft Auto has nothing on this game.
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry. The Grand Theft Auto is great in its own way, and it had its time. I think Red Dead Redemption 2 is about to take, or Red Dead Redemption franchise is about to take over, man.
Here's the question though.
Yeah.
So with Grand Theft Auto 5, here's my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
The single player mode, bad.
And
Online
5, really, I liked it.
And then
Yeah,
online
I
is
like
where
5.
I like
everything
5.
is.
Well, yeah, everyone goes to online now.
Yeah. So, and here's what I'm
That
curious
got
about.
too expansive too fast.
Yeah.
It's almost like what you're saying with comic books. I don't know where to jump in and start on by the time I was getting to the online. Yeah.
But here's this. Do you think that with Red Dead Redemption 2, the story's going to be all of it, and then the online's just going to be how it was with Red Dead Redemption 1?
You know, I think I want them to improve on what they did in Red Dead Redemption 1. I know a lot of people were crazy about the online. I like aspects of the online.
The online
in Red
was
Dead
good,
Redemption
but
1. I think that with Red Dead Redemption 2, they need to make improvements. It needs to be a little bit more organized, if that makes sense.
That's
with their
my
online.
point.
There was some, just organization problems. You kind of just I finally got into it and got the hang of it on the first Red Dead Redemption, but there was just that point where I first started it out and I was like, how do I do this? Like, what am I doing? And it needs to be a little bit more.
The thing that I'm curious about is because the Red Dead Redemption 1 online wasn't. It was good, but it wasn't all that. But then with Grand Theft Auto 5, online was everything.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious on if they're gonna like either just keep it how it was with Red Dead 1 and kind of just make it a little side thing, or if they're gonna do what they did with Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, see, that's kind of
Where you just jump in and join.
well. Here's the
where you're
difference.
doing.
If they kind of tried to do that like they did with Grand Theft Auto, I think I care more about this game
Yeah.
to be able to put the time into it and try to, because this game I like Grand Theft Auto 5. I don't want you to get me wrong. I didn't need an online.
Yeah.
That's just kind of where I was at, you know. One thing I'll say about Grand Theft Auto 4, and I was not a fan of that game.
It was boring.
That online was just, if you had a friend with you, it just seemed very simple and easy, and it wasn't all that bad. And Grand Theft Auto 5, I see what they tried to do, and a lot of people love it, and more power to them. A lot of it's kind of based on the racing and everything, and like that's just not me. That's just not where I'm at, with my gaming. And I like stories, man. I wish more games would base their selling point on their stories.
Can I come in?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Here's what I like. What?
Raise your hand.
Well, I haven't played video games honestly hardcore in about a year.
Yeah.
But what I miss is actual like what I loved about Borderlands is you could jump in online.
Borderlands was such a good game.
You could jump in online anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And improve your stats, and then you could it's co-op. Like co-op games are dying. Like I want a co-op.
It's sad.
I want a co-op sandbox game.
That sounds
Like Grand Theft Auto 5 co-op or a Red Dead Redemption co-op. Like you get two controllers. You can play with your buddy on the same console. Like why aren't we doing that? It's because everyone thinks turning online, and I want to actually have the guy next to me in the living room where we're playing side by side co-op.
Yeah, I know. I miss that kind of gameplay.
Yeah.
One thing I gotta say, and people bitch about Battlefront 2, and I like the game, quite a bit. I can understand why people bitch about certain things of Battlefront 2, and they did take a while to really get into it. But the thing is with Battlefront 2, my buddy can come over and we can play co-op missions side by side, and that's the nice thing with that. We don't have to, like stress over,
Like I loved playing Halo co-op story mode.
Why did 5 get rid of that?
I don't know.
That was see.
It's
That's
dying. That's what he said.
Yeah, I know, but that's the thing. Like Halo, I was I think that's why I quit playing 5. I was so mad because I think my buddy and I tried to go through it together, and he couldn't hop on. I was like, "What the fuck? Why?
Yeah.
Why would I keep giving?"
That's
Halo
why I
to
love
my own?
Borderlands, because you could just hop on, you use anyone's character
Yeah.
and just online or offline
And
co-op.
that could be showing our age, because it's these 12-year-old kids that are online. You go online and you try to voice chat with anybody. It's a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Usually. One of the fun games online, I'll say this, though, that I actually got really immersed in with the online was The Division. It was really, really good, like online stuff. I did enjoy doing that.
I've never played it.
Pretty good Tom Clancy game. I recommend it.
Okay.
Did you guys ever hear of Curiosity?
No.
It was this big. It wasn't even that big. It was a small online game.
Like an
There's-
indie game?
Huh?
Independently made? Like,
Maybe. But basically, we went onto this website, and there's just this giant cube,
uh-huh.
and thousands of people were on it, and you just constantly click one by one.
Yeah.
This cube is made up of layers and then different cubes.
Yeah.
You would upgrade your stuff, that way you could break more cubes. And then in the middle, the last person to break that last piece got the secret message that's on the inside. And only like 4 people ever saw it, but then the game stopped.
Ended.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
Yeah, but like, imagine those 4 people's reactions.
Did you find this in one of your computer classes in school?
No, I was a
No,
part
because
of it.
when I was in computer class in school, I never did any of the work. I would just always hop on games. Like, online, like, the teacher didn't even give a fuck. He was just like, all right. You ever play Life is Strange?
I've heard of that.
That was mind-blowingly good.
Tell me about it a little bit.
So the storyline is really, it's like you're playing a movie, man. It's an independent game.
I've heard about it.
It's fantastic. The story is basically, it's kind of a mystery game in the sense like your main character, you're playing as a girl named, and I can't remember, so who cares?
So who cares?
No, it's a great game. I recommend it.
Isn't that the you can like isn't the episodic?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then you can
I
make
played
your
the
own
I
decisions
played the
and
first episode of that.
Keep going, man. I played the first one. I told my buddy because my buddy recommended it to me, so I downloaded the first one because it was free.
Yeah.
And so I played through that, and I was like, I like it, And my buddy said, keep going.
Yeah,
Just
like
keep
aren't
going,
you
I
a
did.
girl or like at a boarding school and you're trying to solve
So you know
some...
the premise,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yes, and she's having visions, and like one of the, or she can actually not have any visions. Well, she is, but she can also like rewind time. So one of the things is like somebody gets shot in the bathroom at school. And then
Yeah,
so
I remember
you
that
rewind
part.
time. It's a pretty great game. You gotta play this. It's
I feel like I have.
so damn good.
Because I know, like, I've definitely heard it a ton at
Yeah.
least.
I know a lot of people played that first chapter, even if they don't know it, because that was a free thing that they were advertising, where you can get the first chapter free.
Yeah, it was
Market
on
the
like
game.
PS4 Gold or no.
I don't know, it was on
PS,
Xbox.
no, PS
PS Plus.
PS Plus.
Right.
PS Gold.
Yeah, but that game blew my mind by the end of it. Like all the twists and turns that happen, and it's pretty cool. Like a lot of the decisions you make do affect the total outcome of the game.
Yeah.
Would you say it's
So-
better or just as good as the Telltale games?
I like this one better just because of the writing. Altogether, I think the writing for this definitely made this 100 times better than the Telltale games.
You know what game really blew people away? Undertale.
Oh yeah, we do need to talk about that.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, go on. What's going on with that?
All right.
No.
So I was on Google,
Yeah.
and Google now is like the little suggest thing afterwards, and it said Undertale 2 came out.
Okay.
I was like, I heard nothing beforehand,
All right.
nothing.
I heard a little bit about this, but go ahead.
Yeah, like I heard nothing, and you would think that the hype for
I don't even know what Undertale 1 is. I'm being honest. I haven't played mainstream video games for like a year.
No, my friend told me I'm saying my friend told me that about Undertale too,
Okay.
and he's also told me about Undertale. So
All right.
that's a friend who knew about Undertale told me about.
What's
Undertale
the
too.
premise of the game?
All right,
Sorry, go
so
ahead.
the premise of Undertale is a little kid falls into a cave. Basically, there was this big war between humans and monsters, and the humans won, pushing monsters into this cave.
Yeah.
And there was a barrier that humans sealed with souls. Basically, the only way that the monsters could get out is to have 7 human souls.
Okay.
And so kids had fallen down before, and you're the 7th kid. So you get to choose. You have to either fight or be a pacifist. And there's different endings. And it's a really great game. And honestly, the fandom for it, humongous. More than
Yeah,
we're
no,
ever
like I
gonna
said,
have.
I heard about this because a buddy told me about that.
This kind of reminds me of Fable a little bit, just by the general description.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. That's kind of.
And well, you go along, and if anyone has never played it and they want to, I would definitely suggest the pacifist run first, because you connect with the characters. You're playing this little kid who falls in, and there's this lady who is like, "I'll take care of you. It's okay," but you're like, "No, I want to leave." And so then you go out, and there's people, everyone's trying to fight you. You're just like, "No, let's not fight." You don't actually talk, but you just have this glare of. Well, then the second one came out, and that's after the first one. It's just what happened afterwards, where the monsters came back to where the humans are. And that's all I've gotten to play so far.
Yeah.
But honestly, I hope it's not just like some 8-minute game.
Yeah.
But from what I've heard, it's Toby Fox's second game, and it's about the events after. So I think it's going to be another full-blown game.
Yeah.
I am fully excited for that, and I hope next time, after I play it more, we can talk about it for a little bit again.
Absolutely, yeah. I did want to circle back into Red Dead real quick, though. But I'll say, like, one of my favorite things about this game is just, I think even the free roam aspect in Red Dead Redemption 2 is even more exciting of the free roam aspect in 1, because they just give you so much more to do.
Honestly, the free roam in 1 was like my favorite part about it. You didn't have to listen to you didn't have to do the story.
Yeah, it's kind of hefty though. Like, it's a lot. Like, there's so much that you could do that you're kind of.
Do you have to play the first one to get the whole story?
I don't think so. No, it seems to really stand on its own 2 feet
Is it
so far. Yeah,
Is it the same character or a different character?
this is a different character.
Yeah, so it's a
Okay.
completely different story. I think.
So far, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if there's gonna
Because
be
when I
tie-ins
played
later
Red
on.
Dead 1, it felt like what was the game before Red Dead Redemption?
Red Dead Revolver.
Yeah, because no one I
I
felt like
love Red Dead Revolver.
it felt like I had to play that game to get the full story when I
to
played.
some degree, because that is the precursor to that.
Yeah.
This does feel like it's its own thing, but even if you didn't know the story, I think you're just. I mean, which the story matters, like, to me, you know, and I can get that, but I think that this game will blow you away. It's just so much fun. They've made a great game here. It was so refreshing to play, because like I said, I haven't been all the way through it, but it's so refreshing to play. It's just fun, man. You just jump right in. And it's just
I
fun.
don't think you understand when I say like the graphics were amazing.
I
play games constantly.
Yeah.
So when I say the graphics are good,
They are hands
it
down
was
some of the best I've
beautiful.
ever seen. Yeah.
like the horse kicks up snow.
Yeah.
And it's not like a thing. It just while you're walking.
A lot of the reason people, switch to indie games is because they just don't make them fun. And, like, this is the first time in mainstream gaming where it's just, from the very beginning, just kind of been fun.
Like you're just jumping in. And
Just
you're,
jump in and have fun, even though you're through a tutorial through, like, that
Oh,
whole
okay.
first chapter.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
still
The
fun. They
yeah.
make the tutorial fun.
Oh,
It was
about time.
Also refreshing to play, and I was very surprised.
Do you think does Rotten Tomatoes like do games too, or just movies?
I don't think so.
I think
Maybe
they
do.
just do movies from what I.
Because I want to see like the critics review.
IMDb does. You'll probably want to, like, if you want to watch a good review for, like, Red Dead Redemption 2, hop on either IGN's channel, YouTube channel, and they'll talk about what they think of it. They're, like, real well versed in gaming, and then
They also
Collider also has a game channel right now that's really good. Yeah.
They also do comic book reviews. I'll put that out there. too.
IGN.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, IGN's like they're one of those channels. It's
Yeah.
the same thing with, like, Collider. Hopefully, what we eventually grow into, which is pretty cool. Which, by the way, I'll talk to you guys about this after the show. 'Cause
Okay.
I don't want to say anything, but we may have some really cool announcements coming
Okay.
up here real soon. But I'll talk to you guys about that afterward. But I don't want to say anything right now. So,
right.
other than we'll probably have some really cool announcements.
We don't have a lot of time left, but I do want to mention one thing. Have
Sure.
you guys seen Overwatch?
Seen Overwatch
Or, like,
played
seen somebody
played
play it or
Overwatch.
play
Yeah,
it,
anything
or-
about Overwatch.
I've seen somebody play it.
To be honest, the concept bores me.
Yeah, that and the fandom makes me mad.
Yeah, okay, so Overwatch is a very toxic game.
Mhm.
But the game itself is beautiful. The character is beautiful. People ruin the game.
Well, that's why I was saying the fandom annoys me, because I have heard of the sort of toxicity that goes behind.
Oh,
that,
no.
and it's just
So
It's so bad.
and the reason
It really
is, and I understand it because I've been playing on multiple different consoles. I started off on PC, and on PC you have lots of people with mic. Well, everyone thinks that they're better than everyone else, so you get people, and and I understand why. It's because people are better with certain characters, but they want to play a different character, and so you'll get somebody who's a good player playing somebody they've never played before, and so they ruin it for everyone else.
Right.
Well, that's not what I want to talk about.
That's what zombies became too, by the way. Like
Yeah.
on Call of Duty, that's why I kind of started hating that, because zombies, when you try to play with other people, if they're better than you, they just let you know. And
Yeah.
They said, just fuck you, get out of my game. You know, instead of trying
Yeah,
to give you tips. And
I miss the days when World of Warcraft, you could just what? No, yes, this shows my age
I
too,
know.
but people still do play that a little bit. But
Oh,
when
no,
you
yeah.
could just run into someone randomly and you would again co-op
Yeah, you'd
with
be
the
like, "What's up?"
mission. Yeah, that's what bores me about Overwatch. It's just fighting. That
Yeah.
isn't it? That's all it is. Like
Yeah,
that's why I like Borderlands, because it has good
story.
characters and a story.
yeah.
Well, this is what I was trying to get to with Tom Clancy's The Division. Is the online community, they're just very welcoming. You know, you hop in there and it doesn't matter how new to the game you are
Yeah.
or old to the game. The concept's so easy that you just kind of like, the concept of how to play it, I should say, is so easy, not necessarily the
Right.
story, to where it's like, everybody just helps you out, man. And they're just like, you play as a team. You know,
Right.
that's the nice thing about that game. I like that community. That's why it's one of my more favorite online games as of recently. But sorry, go ahead with what you were trying to say.
So every now and then they'll release a new character.
Right.
Well,
My buddy tells me about this all the time too, by the way, so go ahead.
so have you heard of Ash yet?
That I have. Yes. Sorry. No, he was just talking to me about this the other
All right.
day, actually.
So Ash came out
Annoys the hell out of me.
2 days ago. There's a cowboy. Speaking of Red Dead Redemption, there's a cowboy named Jesse McCree,
Yeah.
and they don't have a lot of cinematics for characters yet. They have a few. Jesse McCree's just came out. Ash came out with it, and she's another sniper. And I have mixed feelings about this because we have Widowmaker as a sniper, we have Hanzo as a bowman, and then we have McCree as a hit scan. So with another sniper, I'm weary that we're gonna start getting more snipers in games instead of actual DPS.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that you can't be good with Widow.
Yeah.
I'm a decent Widow. I'm better with, like, Reinhardt, personally. So I'm just worried that people, especially in the first 2 weeks, are going to start playing Ash a lot and not know how to play her.
But are you going to be a dick about it?
Oh, no. Because, so,
I feel like, see, that's the problem, though. If the game, like, by design, makes you want to be a dick about things, then you know that.
then it's an issue.
Do you know what I mean?
It's
Yeah,
a competitive
no, I-
game. People are gonna be dicks.
Oh, no, I'm not saying go on there and, don't expect it, but I'm saying, like, it's just not the kind of gaming community I want to go into.
Yeah,
I
right.
like the team. It brings us back full circle.
Right,
because
right.
This is why I miss the team ups.
Like, why can't we have both?
Well, and Overwatch has been working on its toxicity. And they should have done this at the beginning of Overwatch.
They should have, but I mean, I did hear that they were doing that, and they're actually trying to boot people. But it's like in
Not
any
even
game.
that. So
okay.
with
Sorry.
World of Warcraft and other games that they made in the past, they had a group system, as in you could find a group, and it would be like damage, tank, healer.
It's kind of like a squad system, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, now, in order to group up in Overwatch, before you just had to meet random people, which is dangerous considering you could get some complete assholes.
Right.
Well, now you can just go, I want to play this role, and I want these roles with it. And they'll find those roles for you. But nobody uses it.
Oh,
People still complain that there's no good.
Right. By the way, because you were mentioning cinematics,
Yeah.
I wanted to say EA, please add some cinematics to the hero characters. Thank you.
sorry.
Go ahead.
I have a question. How would you compare Fortnite to Overwatch? Because it seems like Fortnite's overtaking Overwatch right now.
Okay, no, Fortnite's been overtaking Overwatch for a while, and I don't know why.
It's not that good.
I play both of them, mainly just because it's the only few good games that you can play with people anymore. And when I say good, I mean, so Fortnite is a completely broken game for one, and I'm not gonna say I'm good at it, but I'm not bad.
It
I'm
is
not
a broken game.
I'm not bad enough to be like this game sucks. Ping is the biggest issue. You have 100 players versing each other.
Yeah.
And if your ping is slightly off, you shoot somebody in the head. And I have this all the time with shotguns, especially up close. If you shoot somebody in same distance right now,
Yeah.
you and me in game, I shoot you in the head, you shoot me in the head. I'm gonna get 70 damage. You get 120.
The game's unfinished.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
I want companies to quit using their initial buyers as beta testers.
Yeah.
That's
hate
why.
this.
That's why I don't go with the Fallout games when they come out too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I get the comedy aspect of like, oh, look at this, look at the fuck up. It's like, oh, this glitch. Like I get that, but I that's why I don't buy brand new games. I buy when they're all fixed and I have the DLC on the disc.
Yeah. That's something Battlefront 2 did right. All the DLC's just free. There were some things that they, needed to tweak in it for sure, but they once it got complained about, they fixed it.
Yeah.
And people still bitch about those initial things, and it's like they fixed it right away. No other game does that anymore.
Yeah.
Like Battlefront fixed those issues right away for you. All the DLC for Battlefront 2 is free, and that's why I think people need to quit bitching about that game and just fucking play it. It's become a whole different game from what it was from the get go, because every time an issue was bitched about, they fixed it right away.
So I want to complain really quick because we're basically out of time.
Yeah, we really are. We gotta wrap up here soon.
So you play Black Ops, right? Call of Duty Black Ops?
I did.
Okay, you did? So which ones have you played?
1, 2, and 3.
All right.
Campaigns I've played all the way through.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to try out 4, but Black Ops was one of the few Call of Duty series that I can actually still get into a little bit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, go ahead.
All right, so Black Ops 1, DLCs were like $12, or $12 to $15 for one map.
It was like $50 for the season pass.
Yeah.
All of them, yeah.
So that's insane for a single map, and then you get some multiplayer
It's like
maps.
buying a whole other game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's ridiculous. And then, and the DLCs were good. Like, they had some pretty good maps, but Black Ops 2, you have the worst maps when you start off. But the DLCs for Black Ops 2, incredible. You have Origins and Mob of the Dead,
Yeah.
and they have some of, like, the best maps. Black Ops 3, they were just like...
But the campaign wasn't great.
Yeah.
That's the problem I had with 2. It wasn't a great campaign. I did
Yeah.
like the online, I won't lie to
Yeah.
you, but the campaign wasn't great.
And then with Black Ops 3, instead
Campaign
of...
sucked.
Yeah.
It was horrible. Campaign.
And instead of putting new maps out, they're like, let's just make these old ones look better.
Pretty much. That's basically what they did. They just got lazy, and I wasn't a big fan of 3.
Don't get me
honestly.
wrong. I loved, like, Black Ops 1, Kino der Token. It's one of the best maps, even though it's small.
Yeah, I like parts of Black Ops 1. Like, Nuketown.
Yeah.
That what introduced us to Nuketown. Nuketown was the best map that Call of Duty's ever put out there.
Everyone hates it because it's so small, but it's like...
But what Black Ops 2 started doing with Nuketown, when
Yeah.
they revamped it, was Nuketown 20-something, in a future year. And then there was, like, the Nuketown Zombies. Oh, my God. Nuketown Zombies was the shit. That was, like... Black Ops 2 was one of the better Call of Duty games to come out in a long time. I wasn't huge
Especially-
on the campaign, but I didn't hate it either.
Especially with the DLCs.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't have the DLCs, it was the worst game.
Yeah, I agree.
But
Sorry, go ahead.
I do have to say this. With Black Ops 3, they give you one map for free for zombies. And it's like, that is so ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, we do have to wrap up here, unfortunately, or else we're going to start getting charged rent, and I don't want that to happen. So, this has been Anoraks on Air episode 4. If you guys like this content, like I said, if you want to see it more often, if you want to see more content, if you want to see this every week, you got to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell for notifications. Hit the like button right below the video. Do the whole
Leave
9
some
yards.
comments.
Leave some comments.
Don't
Leave
leave
some
some comments.
feedback.
Leave the comments.
No comments
Yes.
are good for me.
The
Yes,
whole
Harrison
damn Wells
Wells.
clan needs to leave
Hi,
some-
Harrison.
There's
Yeah,
a,
leave
there's a
some.
whole clan of them now.
Yeah.
Wells,
Is
yeah.
there?
Yeah.
Yeah, they talk to each other now.
I don't read the comments.
They don't like you.
Hey,
I
you
know.
you know what? I don't care.
Oh, no, I don't.
You shouldn't, because those motherfuckers are still subscribing, which I'm happy with. So, who cares?
Right.
As long as they like us and they're subscribing to our channel, they are supporting, and they shouldn't talk shit. But who?
You know,
Oh, well.
I'm gonna have to edit that out right now, right?
What?
Because they're gonna unsubscribe.
Oh, go ahead, fucking
Just did it.
It's like, thanks for
keep it in there. I don't care. Unsubscribe. Bring it.
Okay. Just
Alright.
end it. Oh.
So, sorry. Anyway, so Anoraks on Air, episode 4. Follow us on Twitter too at Anoraks Official and
Instagram.
Instagram Anoraks Official. Thank you, Jareth. And that's been episode 4. Thank you guys.